I have a problem, and that problem is buying far too many fun little cars over 20 years old, including this Porsche 996 C4S. And as much as I love it, it's giving me issues on track, such as blowing a ton of blue smoke because of a failing AOS, and it just handles like caca because it's got springs and shocks that are outdated. So what I want to do is install a new AOS system because that right there is horrible. Jesus, look at the guy giving me the look of disapproval. And also I want it to look better, which is why I chose to get CEIKA coilovers. Honestly, the only reason I even got these CEIKAs was, well, for two reasons. One is budget, and two, there was a rave review on the forums, specifically for a 996 C4S. Also, they have a lot of customization options, which is why I chose to get helper springs, which kind of bit me in the ass later on, as you'll see. However, I thought I was onto something good here, and for the most part, they do ride great. But here's the entire install process for you.
We'll begin by dropping the wheel first, 5 19mm bolts. After taking off the wheel, we're gonna work on taking off the splash shield. After taking off the splash shield, we're going to drop this end of the front control arm. Then we're gonna move on to sway bar link, some wires and hoses, and then we'll see if we have enough space to drop the strut down to yank it out the knuckle. These are 10 mils, two 10 mils in the front, plastic nuts, 2 in the rear. And they just unclip, drop some of these clips. They kind of just load it, so you just kind of get a screwdriver in here, press them out. They seem to like to fly off, so wear eye protection if you would like. There should be a total of 6 clips. This car only has 5. I believe it is missing one, but no big deal. We're dropping it to expose these 4. Should be a combination of 15, like a 16 and an 18. These two holding the sway bar are 15s. Big one's 18. And the forwardmost one is a 16. 16, 18, and 2 15s. Next, we're gonna loosen this 16 bolt head and an 18mm nut. The objective is to basically loosen this arm to the point where we can swing the whole knuckle assembly down far enough to clear the strut from the fender. We'll point it out of the fender, and then we'll take out the whole assembly. This one we don't have to take fully out. We're basically just loosening it so it can swing. The next we'll move on to the sway bar link. Sway bar link, I believe ours is a 15 mil, but it seems like it's been changed before, so maybe your hardware size will be different. So next, we're gonna work on removing the wiring. This little metal bracket, you can just flip up. Literally, just flip it up. Give these a wiggle and tug. These are like the brake sensor connectors or ABS sensor connectors. But since we're gonna be dropping the whole assembly out, I'll be tugging on these wires. One bolted from the knuckle as well. 10mm nut, and it's hard to see, but back here there will be a 10mm bolt. This is holding the bracket for the connectors that we just unplugged. Just getting space for the knuckle to drop out of the wheel well. Next, we're gonna drop the caliper because the brake hard line is connected. You don't want to be bending it. We'll drop the caliper and find a place to tie it up. 2 10mm hexes. Stuck on the pad. Now with the caliper out, the bracket we disconnected earlier just hangs free with it. That way we don't got anything clinging to the knuckle when we try to force it out of its home in a second. Now we got the frunk open. We're gonna expose the strut mount nuts. Should be a T25. Now we got that exposed. Get a floor jack underneath the ball joint of the lower control arm, just for support. 13 mil. Oh wait. Before we do so, let's mark the position of the bolts so we don't lose the alignment spec. After you've gotten the 3 strut mount nuts out, we'll just gently lower this floor jack, and we should be able to drop the whole assembly. Lower it gently, and there you have it. We have enough space to swing this whole thing out. Ours will be a little bit easier since it's been previously lowered, so the overall height of this should be a little bit shorter, although it seems like you have a ton of room anyways. Now what we're gonna do essentially is undo the pinch bolt, get a knuckle spreader or chisel in there, and we'll just tap the whole assembly out. The pinch bolt is gonna be an 18mm nut. 16mm head. Just rest the whole assembly. My shoulder. Just like that. Give it some wax. There you have it. Now we're ready for the coilover.
Nice.
We're gonna get this bad boy in there. What the hell? There's no locator. Sway bar mount, right? So next, we're gonna get our chisel and hammer, spread the knuckle a little. This sticker is kind of like fights you, so it gets stuck. Kind of knows from the sticker. Go. The height, we're leaving it preset for now. We're not gonna know because I don't know what the spring rates are, you know? Just pay attention, this has a camber plate. Obviously you cannot install it like this. You're not supposed to adjust the suspension forward or back. Just go side to side. I presume this sticker means front with this lettering, but we'll find out. So the mount only comes through one way, so you're really not gonna mess it up. That really was just at max camber. Right now, we're trying to rotate the sway bar bracket over, kind of line up. Just go perpendicular to the frame. Just gonna take a rubber mallet, tap the hell out of it. Just be careful because the vibration is making it come out a knuckle, but in a sec, we'll just get the screw jack under it. I would say we're in the approximate position. Okay, now that we got the sway bar mount in the proper position, we can throw in the nut and bolt. Now, we'll take out the lower sway bar link because, hell yeah, because this fancy coilover kit comes with adjustable sway bar links. And because the mount for the sway bar link has moved essentially like 4 inches down, you literally will need it. Quite the necessity. Turns out it is a 17mm counter hold. We're just adjusting the sway bar link to be as short as possible because this is what Tom wants. That's basically it. After we get the sway bar link mocked up, I'm gonna slap this caliper back in. Get some good old anti-seize on the threads because it's steel going into aluminum. Once we get the caliper bolts back in, we'll torque the 2 bolts to spec. Should be 63 foot-pounds. Next, we'll get the bracket in. Again, 10mm nut, 10mm bolts. Make sure the bolt doesn't move freely. Make sure it's really tight on the first couple of threads and just start tightening it down. Once you got those tightened down, we'll clip these sensors back in. Very easy. Then we'll focus on getting the lower control arm bracket back in, tightening up the one that we loosened earlier to allow the assembly to swing down. Finish up tightening the sway bar link and we'll be good to go for this side.
When you do one of these installs, always make sure to hand tighten things just to double check that your torque is right.
Now we're gonna move on to tightening down our sway bar link. 15. Now we're gonna finish tightening up the bolt we loosened earlier to give us a swing. Just make sure we get some good preload on the suspension. Just try to go perpendicular to the subframe without making the car fall off the lift. That would not be ideal. 18 on the nut end, 16 on the bolt end. Snug it down. At this point, the right front corner of this vehicle is done. The other side is literally the same exact procedure. I will want to note that this is a Carrera 4S. If you have a 4S or a turbo as front axles, on our car, we already took out the front axles. We deleted the front diff, the 4-wheel drive system. So we kind of skipped a step. If you have a turbo or a 4S, you'll want to remove the axles from the diff side. It should be like 6mm hex bolts. Just take them out. That way the whole assembly can hang without ripping out the CV joint. But at this point, we're done with this wheel. We're gonna move on to the rear and we'll get to the height adjustment later.
The rear is a little bit more involved because you have to start taking apart interior trim.
Now we got the rear wheel drop. We're gonna lower the car, move on to the interior of the car, take out the rear speaker deck and whatnot, and get access to the rear strut mounts. To get it to the back, we'll fold down the rear seats, pop off some covers, take out some bolts. Cool. Fold this down. Dude, dig your finger under the Bose lettering, pull up. Comes right out. Couple clips. Same thing over here. Very easy, very fragile. You got one bolt here, one bolt here. The whole thing will slide forward. There should be a wire for the speaker. Take that out. T30. There is a wire back here. Just the one. You just pinch it, squeeze it, and get it out of there. You just pull on this cover, sort of just shove into the seat. Take this little thing out, just slide it forward. And we now almost have access to rear strut tower. There's these two brackets that we're holding on this rear speaker. They're held on by two 10mm nuts. We'll get those out of the way and we'll have access to the three nuts holding on the strut. Two 10mm nuts, need an extension to clear the brace here. It's in its own damn way. Don't drop the nuts. These are 15s, yay. They are locking nuts. They're ovular. That's why they will feel tight coming in or out. That's it. Now we'll go outside, undo the bottom of the strut, and drop the whole thing. Do the rear sway bar link. It's a 17 mil. Do it in the car while it's fixated by everything else. Some good force on it. Swing up here, ship up that nice yellow paint. Like giving us a lot of tension on the thread over here. I don't want to end up cooking the thread. We're gonna do it on both ends. Make life a little easier. 17 mil, we loosen the sway bar. Very easy. It will try to swing down with you. Take it off on the other end. Perfect time to upgrade the sway bar. Now that we've got the sway bar link out, we'll undo the rear. Porsche loves the 16 and 18 combo. 18mm nut, 16mm bolt. Tap the bolt out. It's gonna be fun to get back in. Just wedge against the knuckle here. And there we have it, a whole rear strut. Now we'll get the coilover in. The spring might be lower than the original assembly. Psych, it's not. I'm gonna shorten this all the way for max low, but mainly so we can line it up to the knuckle a little better. You can always adjust it back down. So once we got the bottom mount in, we're gonna drop the car again, tighten up the rear, preload it a little. This is a rubber bushing, so we don't wanna preload it wrongly. And then we should be done with the rear, besides putting back the interior panel. These nuts on. So off camera, we installed the other side. Right now we're just putting the rear sway bar back in. It's just 17mm nuts again, just thread them back into their tight. Then we'll swing the rear sway bar up and get the brackets back in, 4 13mm bolts, tying it down, and that should conclude the rear.
Just when we thought that we were done, we lowered the car to check the ride height and realized it's actually higher now than the ride height it was at with the Bilsteins and the H&R springs.
Taking out the helper spring, because even this coilover at max low is higher than lowering springs, which makes no sense.
Under the guidance of CEIKA, they said to either take out the helper springs or reorder new coilovers, but opt for the extra low option, which I wasn't about to do. I specifically wanted helper springs, but unfortunately I can't even run them now because I want my desired height at a certain level, and the CEIKAs just can't get to that level with the helper springs installed. Now, to CEIKA's credit, they did offer a refund for the helper springs alone, so I wouldn't have to fully switch out my coilovers. But still, ultimately when you order coilovers with helper springs, you kind of want to use them. You want to maintain them. They do help the ride. But whatever. Also, one more thing to note, you don't really have adjustment of the camber via the camber plates because there's just absolutely no access once they're installed to the camber plates themselves. And with the helper springs off, this is the final look. And I am absolutely in love. Before it was a solid ½ inch taller, and I don't know, this just looks that much more aggressive. Like that looks mean now. And that'll conclude this install video of the CEIKA coilovers on my Porsche 996. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and watch out for more.